Not the video I was expecting to make, but I have a quick question for you guys. Why in the world would the ICE Border Patrol agents ever step foot in Europe? Very perplexing. But apparently our lovely president in the United States has decided to send ICE agents as security forces to the Winter Olympics in Italy this year. And of course, after hearing this, Italy absolutely turned up and protests erupted immediately.
ICE protests are not only happening across the country and in Minnesota, they're happening here in Milan as well. Hundreds of protesters gathered here over the weekend, calling for ICE officers to leave the city before the start of the Winter Olympics. A lot of the protesters were waving signs, they had flags, and they were blowing plastic whistles, a square name for Italy's liberation. ICE agents are being deployed here to help protect U.S. delegations. However, they're separate from the officers in Minneapolis and other U.S. cities. Now, earlier this week, the State Department announced that several federal agencies, including ICE, would help protect the visiting Americans as they have at past Olympics. Italy, however, does have a detailed sweeping security plan for the Winter Games, stressing that it's going to keep command of all of the operations happening.
I found that to be strange. As far as I know, I don't think the United States has ever sent Border Patrol agents to any Olympic event, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. Italy hates Trump, Italy hates ICE. I was honestly very perplexed because I know currently in the United States, tensions are incredibly high, especially after the basically assassination of an American citizen in front of literally everybody by ICE agents, ICE Border Patrol agents, and it was a blatant execution. And of course, all of the U.S. citizens are up in arms about this whole ordeal that just took place, and it's tragic. So you can only imagine the worldwide sentiment as far as what was witnessed, because that video went mega viral and people from all over the world got to see it. And of course, if you've noticed in those protests, people had signs of Alex Preddy and they were raising him to acknowledge something horrible that had happened to him. So it's actually insane that this was the choice that our president made to send ICE Border Patrol agents to Italy as the security forces that are supposed to, you know, protect the Americans that are there as athletes and stuff for the Winter Olympics. It's just very strange. I feel like that wasn't a great call. Part of this doesn't surprise me because he did put millions of dollars into the ICE agency and they've been going crazy ever since. So I guess he's making maximum usage of ICE agents, which is absolutely insane. I do have a question for you guys watching though. How do you feel about this? Because for me, I'm like, what are we doing over there? What is happening? 2026 already has been a giant clusterfuck. Like, I don't know what else is going to happen. Truly, I don't know. But I did decide to scour Reddit and I came across a few posts. Milan mayor calls ICE a militia that kills and says agents not welcome as part of U.S. Olympic security. Yeah, so apparently through each of these Olympic events, each country brings their own security to these Olympic gatherings and stuff to make sure that their athletes are safe, secure, what have you. And typically the United States in the past has brought security with them. I don't think they have been Border Patrol agents before, unless I'm missing something. But apparently that's a call that came from the top down and apparently was a good idea. What is happening? Especially after recent events. Yeah, I understand entirely why there's protests happening in Italy saying, hey, we don't want your ICE agents here. What are they doing here in the first place? The comment thread for this post though was insane. I don't understand which legal framework would ICE be allowed to provide security in a foreign country. I literally have the exact same question. If you guys have an answer for that, please let me know in the comments down below, because my thought is they don't have any legal anything to be out there at all. Get some regular security forces people. Hire some FBI people to travel internationally to help protect the American athletes and stuff like that. Again, if you're going to use a security detail, bring a batch of police officers with you or something like that. If that's allowed, yeah, do that or whatever. But ICE agents, especially after what just happened, diabolical. What is gonna happen next in this weird turn of events? I don't see a reason why those bloodthirsty, limp-dicked goons have to be there other than some stupid power move. Again, I don't think we can stoop any lower than we already are right now, but something in my body tells me that something else is coming. Unfortunately, I hope nothing else is coming, but every day I wake up, it seems like the hole that the United States keeps digging is bigger and deeper, and our current situation as far as our relationship with the rest of the world just continues to get worse. How were they allowed there in the first place? That's literally what I'm saying. How is this possible? How is this possible? The prime minister could straight up be like, no, they're not allowed. And I think Trump would have to listen, but apparently our country has a huge problem with consent. ICE is Trump's personal army, his imperial guard to intimidate citizens, to threaten his political rivals, to scare voters and establish totalitarian dictatorship. Therefore, he will certainly elevate its status as high as he can until he successfully turns America into a slave state with him enslaving everyone. It does seem like that move to bring the ICE agents to Italy as security forces for the United States Olympic athletes is a power move. Not a good power move, but a power move to intimidate and bully the country they're going to. Like, this doesn't make any sense. This genuinely does not make any sense. What do you think about the Italian government wanting to ban ICE agents to come to the Olympic Games as security forces? Because, of course, Italy was like, hey, okay, all the countries that are coming to partake in the Winter Olympic Games, bring your own sets of security forces, cool, whatever. And then America says, oh yeah, you know what? We'll send ICE agents as our security forces. Doesn't make any sense, especially since it seems like they don't have a rules of engagement at all. Like, their rules of engagement don't exist. But the comments for this went absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I might make a follow-up video reading you guys' comments to see what you guys feel about this topic. I know, as somebody that just observed these articles in this news, I was perplexed. I was like, wait, hold on, what? Why would an American immigration enforcement agency be in Italy for anything? Am I missing something? Bingo, because I have no idea what we're doing there either. Why the freak is ICE in Italy? And I'm not talking about the melting kind. Look at a map. Why on earth would US personnel be allowed to operate under EU law? Confuses the hell out of me. I'm scratching my head just like everybody else is scratching their head. This is crazy. But this definitely reinforces the sentiment behind the protests that are happening right now, because of course everybody should be actively protesting in Italy about this whole thing. Because what the fuck? The thing is, if the most recent event or series of events had not happened, then yes, there would probably still be protests, but not as intense as they are now. It's like these last two particular events happened in regards to the ICE agents in the United States. And then right afterward, Trump's like, yeah, I'm on a vacation to Italy. They're going to be protecting our citizens and getting a good show of the Olympics. Good idea. I'd like to ban them from the US as well. That's real. The crazy thing is, I feel like we have better established federal agencies that do the same thing but 1,000 times better. It's almost like those exist. Why would immigration enforcement ever go to another country? Unreal. Again, not making sense. The math is not mathing, okay? It's just not mathing. Now, again, if I'm missing something and you guys see something I don't, please inform me in the comments. Why would American federal agents be working in Italy? Again, I'm just as confused as everybody in these comments, but I understand the frustration because this doesn't make any sense. It's like other countries sending their border control agents to the United States for an international event hosted in the United States. We'd be like, why are you sending your border control to the United States? Everybody would be up in arms about it. So we can't be questioning why the people of Italy are also up in arms about the American border control agents flying to Italy as security forces. That doesn't make any fucking sense. 100% agree with Italy. If the US thinks that creates too big a security risk for its people, US people should stay home. What can I say? This person has a point. Let the EU scan their passports and impose an immediate lifelong ban from entering the region. Then deport the agents. They're ICE. They'll totally understand. Yeah, hit them with a taste of their own medicine. That would be poetic justice at its finest. I actually have no idea how the EU and the United States have any remnants of a relationship at this point, since we've literally speed ran and drove our diplomacy into the ground with the EU. Like, our alliance is like fried. The games are in Italy. Why in the world would US immigration be there? Oh, you didn't know the United States was invading Italy? Neither did I. The instability of some of the things the United States has been doing is insane. Confusing might be my #1 emotion. I'm very confused. I don't know what's going on, dude. I'm like, why are we doing any of this? ICE has no jurisdiction in Italy. ICE has no skill in security and prevention. ICE has a very unskilled workforce, well known for escalating things. It's literally the least appropriate agency for the task. Pretty sure ICE agents stay in shape off of the amount of times they jump to conclusions alone, let alone what they be doing for no reason. It's crazy work. They're not skilled. Again, they don't have any sense of rules of engagement at all. They just act. They're very unprofessional, and they're being sent on a prestige detail like this in another country at that. It's already insane that we're sending Border Patrol agents to another country across the planet. What is happening? I feel like I'm living in that movie Idiocracy. This has got to be that timeline. Yikes, man. Holy moly. If you told me in 2016 we'd be here in 2026, I would have said, ha, nice joke. Sounds like a satire bit. Genuinely, what do you guys think about all of this that's taking place right now? All of these comments are very valid. I want to read you guys' comments as well in the comments down below. We will get into a lot of these discussions on my streams at twitch.tv/JamesBraygang while I play some pretty cozy games and some horror games. I do play horror games over there as well. So don't know when that schedule will take place, but you guys will find out on here first.